So now let's factor trig expressions. We have secant squared of theta minus 1. So another way to think about that is let's just pretend that secant squared of theta, that is really just, let's make it an a squared, just make it a squared minus 1. So a squared minus 1 should remind you that it's just a difference of squares. So that would be a minus 1 times a plus 1. So that's what we do here. This becomes a secant of theta minus 1 and a secant of theta plus 1. And so that is factored. Let's try 4 tangent squared of theta plus tangent theta minus 3. So another way to think about that is let's let u equals tangent of theta. And so another way to look at this is 4u squared plus u minus 3. And so that is factorable. And so, I'm hoping you don't have to do this, but I wanted you to see this so you can see that that is factorable. So you see squared, and this is just the tangent, and then you could just factor it, right, without having to do this let u part here. So this factors to 4 tangent of theta, and then tangent of theta, and then we'll multiply to negative 12. That adds to a 1, so that is a positive 4, so 4 times 1, and a negative 3 in here. Okay, so 4 tangent of theta minus 3, and tangent of theta plus 1 is how you factor this one. So try these two examples here. Factor each expression. Okay, if you tried this out, you would have gotten 1 minus cosine of theta and 1 plus cosine of theta for the first one. And letter B, that factors to 2 cosecant of theta minus 3 and 2 cosecant of theta minus 2. In some cases, when factoring or simplifying a trig expression, it is helpful to first rewrite the expression in terms of just one trig function, or in terms of sine and cosine only. So the one we're going to focus on right now is we want to make sure that we only have one trig function, and then in the example tomorrow we will look at rewriting it in terms of sine and cosine. So let's factor this trig expression. We have cosecant squared of x minus cotangent of x minus 3. So we have two different trig functions, and we want to write it into just one type. So we have cotangent and cosecant. So this should remind us of the Pythagorean identity, 1 plus cotangent squared of theta equals cosecant squared of theta. So since we have a cosecant squared of theta here, we can just change it to 1 plus cotangent squared of theta. So let's do that. This cosecant squared of x becomes 1 plus cotangent squared of x, and then rewrite the rest. Minus cotangent of x minus 3, and then we should simplify. So then this becomes cotangent squared of x minus cotangent of x minus 2. And so now we can factor it. This factors to a cotangent of x, let's see, cotangent of x, and negative 2, and a positive 1. So that completes the factor. So try this example here. Factor, this should be a secant squared of x plus 3 and tangent of x plus 1. So try this out. So this factors, you have to change 1 plus tangent squared of x with the secant squared of x, substitute, and then you simplify, you combine like terms, 1 plus 1 is 2. So you get tan squared of x plus 3 tan of x plus 2, and then you go ahead and factor it, and so you should have this factor at the end.